Shalom everyone, this is Samuel Work with the Nations Land Above, here for day 18, which is called Rebuild. And today our verse comes from out of Isaiah chapter 61, verses 4 through 5, and there we read these words. It says, "And they shall rebuild the old ruins, they shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the ruined cities, the desolations of many generations. And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and sons of the foreigner shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers." Today is a season of rebuilding, a rebuilding of relationships, but also a rebuilding of the nation and people of Israel. And so as that is happening, right, since the time of 1948, when Israel returned back to their homeland, when God returned them, when he returned the scattered outcasts from all the four corners of the earth, when he brought them home, it's been a time and a season of rebuilding for the nation of Israel. But with that, it's also a time of rebuilding for us as we join in with this work of God that he's doing today. And so these verses out of the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, when we read that they shall build the old ruins, and they shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the ruined cities. The next verse says, "And the strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the foreigner shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers." Within the context of rebuilding, all of a sudden we find the strangers. We find those who haven't been a part of the nation of Israel all of a sudden coming and wanting to be a part of this rebuilding, this restoration process that God is doing. And God is working that work today in our time. And so with that, I believe in the season of rebuilding, if we turn also to the book of Isaiah again, and this is going to be in Isaiah 58, verses 12, we read something similar. And Isaiah 58 is kind of this chapter about the fast that God is pleased with, right? And this is a time of fasting. This is a time of mourning. This is a time as we join ourselves to the Jewish people, we remember what we lost all together, right? It wasn't just the Jewish people that lost God's house when it was destroyed. We all lost something. And so with that, this time of remembering, this time of fasting and then remembering the fast that God is pleased with, we read in Isaiah 58. It says this, verse 6, "Is this not the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bonds of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke." There's a lot of heavy burdens. There's a lot of baggage, I guess you could say, between the Jewish people and Christianity that needs to be done away with. And so this is the fast that God has chosen, that he is pleased with, and that is that we get rid of the baggage, we get rid of the burdens. It says that you share your bread with the hungry, that you bring to your house the poor who are cast out. When you see the naked, that you cover them, and that you not hide yourself from your own flesh. We are one people, one God. And so with that, we shouldn't be hiding ourselves. We shouldn't be pretending that we're not seeing what's happening in the world today, not only with the Jewish people, but worldwide. People are suffering, people are hurting. We should not be, especially as an American, we should not be, I speak for myself and for the people from America, we should not be complacent with the things that are happening in today's world. This is a time of rebuilding and restoring. And so with that, we return to something very similar from the book from Isaiah, chapter 61. Now we read something similar in 58, and it says this. It says that those from among you shall build the old waste places. You shall raise up the foundations of many generations. You shall be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of streets to dwell in. This is the story that I want and that I believe that we should be seeing in today's modern world. That we as believers, we as Christians, we as followers of the Bible should be called repairers of the breach, those who are bringing restoration to relationships. And so with that, the biggest relationship, I guess you could see, that we have a very big divide with would be the Jewish people. And so when we come here, when we see that we can once again walk in relationship with the Jewish people, I think for me at least, it is a realization that relationships that you think might be gone forever can actually be restored when you join in with God's plan. And so with that, I would encourage us to join in with the rebuilding that is taking place in our time, the rebuilding of relationships, but also the physical, literal rebuilding of the nation and people of Israel. And as we do that, may we see God's kingdom established in our days. So with that, We'd like to join in prayer for day 18. Thank you, God, for the ancient prophecies that you are fulfilling in our days. It is amazing to see and also to be a part of. Help us to learn how to be a blessing to your people. Take the agenda out of our hearts and replace it with a genuine love and desire to get to know your people better. Thank you that they have held onto your promises and are acting upon them. Show us how we can be better involved and used in the work that is taking place in our time. Thank you that the strangers have a place in your kingdom and your house. Teach us how to be servants to all men, especially the nation of Israel, even as Jesus, Yeshua, our Master, came to serve and not to be served. Give us hearts of service and so rebuild the relationships that have been broken and heal the hurts that still continue even to this day. We want to become Am Echad, Hashem Echad, one people with one God. May it be so. Amen and amen. Shalom from the holy city, the beautiful city of Jerusalem.